Highland Park Spotlight. I'm your host, Keisha B. And the way that it sounds outside, I swear I would love to be at home in my bed. It is storming outside. But welcome to the Highland Park Spotlight. I'm your host, Keisha B. I'm excited to be here. And in studio today, I have Officer Malone, who is code enforcement. What's up?
What's going on?
So, look, we're going to build this out, right? Look, right? We here.
I know.
Okay. All right,
I'm
cool.
here with you.
So, I am excited to have him on air today. Reason being is because we want to make sure that we get clarity out there in regards to the code enforcement program, right? So we have different things that are set in place to ensure the betterment of the city of Highland Park. And so we're going to dive into some of those things today. So, excuse me. So you're an officer with Highland Park, but you're also within the community of economic development, right?
Right.
As the code enforcer. But for those watching, what exactly is your responsibility?
More so to fight blight, neglected properties, people who just really don't take care of some of the basic
Slightly
stuff that they should take care of. Probably need some water.
Yep.
That's pretty much what code enforcement is. I work hand in hand with the building department, like a lot. So a lot of stuff that I do actually comes from the building department.
Okay. So within the building department, you actually enforce all ordinances with dealing with properties and businesses, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so here's the thing. We got to take a quick commercial break. I need some water, apparently. But we will be right back to the Highland Park Spotlight Show. I'm your host, Keisha B. This is Officer Malone. We'll be right back after this.
Justice for Mario Willis. Truth. Facts. Evidence. Matter. Log into justiceformariowillis.com. Read for yourself.
Muscles, joints, or feet tired, achy, or distressed? Tried everything? Ringmaster Rubbing Oil is a vintage topical pain reliever, trusted for over 70 years, with a rich formula for the treatment of stubborn aches and pains. Packaged in a glass bottle for purity, our liquid can also be used in warm water for foot soaks and compresses. A little goes a long way. Try our time-tested formula, available in several sizes.
Make a donation to WHBR-TV and receive two 2-ounce bottles of Ringmaster Rubbing Oil for $25. Call 313-868-6612.
Is arthritis, rheumatism, inflammation holding you back? Even ladies' menstrual cycle pain? Order Hurt No More. It's all natural and it works fast. Go to 86pain.com.
You know, I played in the NFL back in the 60s. We could have used Hurt No More after every game. I could have used something to relieve my pain.
If you've got pain, I've got the answer. Hurt No More. Wherever the pain is, it'll grab it fast.
86 to Pain. Go to 86pain.com.
Have you ever wanted your own TV show? Have you dreamed of showcasing your talent for the world to see? Well, now you can. Have your own TV show. You can have your own 30-minute show. Not only will you be seen in the Detroit area, but you can be viewed worldwide. For more information, call 313-868-6612. Visit our studios and receive a free TV interview to promote your business, church, or organization by appointment only.
The Detroit Water and Sewerage Department is looking for motivated Detroiters to be a part of our team. We have opportunities for field services technicians, engineers, and customer service specialists with competitive pay and benefits. Make a real difference with the work you do every day. Join other Detroiters who are taking part protecting the pipes where we live, work, and play. Learn more and apply at detroitmi.gov/jobs. DWSD, working hard for you.
Welcome back to the Highland Park Spotlight. I'm your host, Keisha B, and sorry for that. I think, you know what, you don't want to be on TV so much that you sitting here like, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do this. And I legit start choking. I ain't never choked on air, but it's okay, right? So we're going to pick up right where we left off, and we're going to do this thing. So I know that right before I ran out, right, I couldn't hear you because I was concerned about choking. Okay, I want you to know that. So I'm going to re-ask this question. So you enforce all ordinances dealing with properties and businesses, correct?
Correct.
All right. So when you dealing with those ordinances, I know that you said that you work closely with the building department. Mm-hmm. Is that right? Right. And there's a lot to talk about when it comes to the code enforcement program. Many folks are either misinformed, underinformed, or simply just not informed enough of how things work. But the nuisance abatement program was set in place to help eliminate vacant or abandoned properties, right?
Correct.
So can you elaborate on some of the specifics?
So I think it's all of the above that you just mentioned. Before we get to nuisance abatement, the process usually starts off with the building inspector usually rides around like a patrol in a sense.
Okay.
And he'll see a property where the porch is kind of falling apart, the roof is like caved in.
Okay.
It's just the house needs serious work.
Mm-hmm.
So he'll send a letter for whatever ordinances their property is in violation of. Let's say he sent the letter to you. Most people just won't call and say, hey, I got a notice in the mail. Can you tell me what I need to do to fix this?
Right.
So it'll go basically unanswered. Then time will go by and he'll forward it to me and say, hey, I sent this person a letter on this date. And I think the letter has like a 10-day grace period to kind of get in contact.
Okay.
Where they won't respond. It'll get to me. Then I'll try to get them to respond. They won't respond. So I issue a ticket. And what happens most of the time is they'll bring it to court and say, well, I'll put in the notes, hey, they got a letter on the 1st of August.
Right.
It's January 1st. We've heard nothing from this person. And they'll get to court and say, oh, I didn't know what I was supposed to do.
That's interesting. Because isn't that information within the letter?
It's all in the letter. Hey, you have 14 days or 10 days to call us and say what your plans is. The building inspector is like, he's really a good person. He isn't like most building inspectors in other cities where he's like no nonsense. Mm-hmm. So we're all understanding to everybody's struggles. You may just not have the funds to fix whatever it is that you need to fix, but you have to tell us something so we can kind of notate it. Hey, they're waiting on some funds for this, or they're waiting on this, and this. And a lot of the things that we've run into lately has been out-of-town owners who will pay different companies here in Michigan to fix whatever, and they don't do the work. It's like they kind of run off with the money.
Wow.
So when we're sending notices out, again, it's like, hey, I paid someone to do this, and they don't do it.
That's huge.
We've been running to that lately. But most of the cases where people they don't respond to the letters. And even after a ticket once, a ticket twice, a ticket the third time, they still don't fix whatever it is that they needed to fix. So then we usually send it to the city attorney for nuisance abatement, and they
Okay.
kind of bring them into court and kind of force them, in a sense, to fix the properties.
Okay. So that is essentially the process of how you get to the nuisance abatement.
Pretty much.
Okay. Because I know that's one of the biggest issues that we hear or we see here in Highland Park. You know, abandoned buildings, abandoned properties. That's some of the things that come up during the city council meetings. You know, which is another reason why I wanted to bring you on air, because we need to make sure that residents are informed the best way that they can
so
be.
let me address this too, because I hear it all of the time. A lot of residents will they'll file a complaint on a property next to them or down the block or something like that, and they think because nothing has happened that we haven't ticketed. I just literally checked before I walked in here, and I've written 817 tickets this year so far.
Whew.
And I would say less than 10% of those tickets actually go to court from people that choose to fight it, or they really don't know why they got this ticket.
800?
Yes.
That's a lot. It's August. That's a lot of tickets. Okay. Well, that puts things into perspective, because I know that people will say, "Oh, well, I've been doing this, I've been doing that, and I don't see anything happening." So let me ask this, because someone may ask this question, right? So you've been ticketing these different properties, these different businesses and homeowners and so forth, but if the person doesn't respond, or if the person doesn't decide to fight, what is the next step?
So if they don't respond, either myself or the building inspector will keep monitoring the property. If nothing happens in like 3 weeks, or we haven't heard anything, and I didn't see you attempted to correct the issue, then you get another ticket.
Okay.
So that moves it to the second offense, and I think the second offense when you get a ticket, an ordinance ticket, is $350, and then after that, kind of give you around the same time frame another month. And I usually have the building inspector send out another notice, and I'll have him put second attempt on it.
Okay.
If they don't respond to that, then it's another ticket plus the misdemeanor, and then we straight forward it to the city attorney for nuisance abatement.
Okay. And so when you get to that point of the nuisance abatement, right, what exactly does that look like? So, because there's so many properties, right? And obviously you're doing what you're supposed to do as far as it was 817. That's a lot of tickets. So we know that you're doing your part. But once it gets to the courts, what is that process? Do they lose the property? Like, what is
No.
the process with that? Because it takes.
To date, I know that no one has lost their property.
Okay.
We had one case that we had when we kind of did like a trial run. The property, it was a couple of duplexes located on a block. The property owner is kind of wealthy, I would assume. He stays in the suburbs, and in oh so many words told me that we should be lucky that he chose to spend his money in Highland Park.
Whoa. What?
So
Wow.
I've been ticketing this him since 2020, and he never responded to anything. So we started meeting with the attorneys when the administration changed, and the new attorney that we have for nuisance abatement is extremely great. He's extremely proactive. We got this guy in court, and I guess once we forwarded all the tickets and he's seen the fines, I know he paid the city a nice amount of money, and his attorneys got him to finally do the simple stuff that we needed him to do.
Wow. And it took since 2020?
Correct. And that's usually how it is. all of the cases that are going to nuisance abatement are from 2020 or 2021.
Wow. Okay. So when we talk, so that's the nuisance abatement, but the International Property Maintenance Code actually pertains to commercial property, right?
No, it pertains to some business, some commercial, depending on like what the code actually is.
Okay. What are some of the most frequent violations that you've seen?
Failure to registration of vacant property, registration of rental property, disposal of garbage, disposal of rubbish like mattresses, stuff like that, chairs, couches, accessory structures like fences, garages. Those are usually the main ones that we kind of that I see like on an everyday basis.
So you mentioned fences. What about the fences is out of code or causes someone to get a ticket?
So let's just say you stay on California, and your neighbor has 3 dogs at his property, but the fence in he likes to leave the dogs outside, but the fence in his backyard is kind of torn down in a sense, and the dogs keep getting out.
Got it. Okay.
Or if you ride around the city and you'll see somebody has like a brand new fence and how a fence should actually stand, but then you'll see one house and the fence is torn down, but it's torn down in some spaces, but it's up in the rest. Stuff like that. We usually try not to cite people for stuff like that. But if it goes ignored and it leads to other issues, then we kind of enforce it.
Okay. So you also mentioned like mattresses and things like that. So is that just because I know boat pickup come every, I think it's once a week, or is it every?
I think it's every Friday.
Every
or
Friday.
Whenever trash day is, it's something like that.
Okay. So I know if boat pickup comes out, people typically set their stuff out, right? In what instance would someone actually receive a ticket for their things being out? Is it because they set it out too early? Is it because
I try not to do that because I know sometimes you just want stuff out the house or you placed it out for a reason. So I kind of try not to do it. If somebody put it out on Wednesday, I know trash day is on Friday. It's like, I can, ignore this. But if you clear out a whole house, like if you're a landlord and you evict someone and you just clear out their house and you don't put the stuff in a dumpster.
Got it.
That's the kind of stuff, because the GFL isn't going to pick it up. So it's going to sit there, and then the pile will go from being as tall as this table to tall as me.
Okay.
Because people will see a pile and then they'll just start adding to it.
Yeah, I see that quite a bit. I ain't gonna say where.
Yeah, I see it all of the time.
But we can't do that, okay? So you got to set your stuff out where in front of your house. If you don't want it there, then you need to get a dumpster
in neat piles, because GFL is not going to pick it up if it's spread all across the lawn. It has to be like extremely neat, or it's gonna sit there. And then if it's spread across the lawn and it sits there, and we get enough complaints, then it's, hey, you probably should have either contacted DPW to see if they'll come pick the stuff up, or ask
probably
GFL.
Not. DPW ain't gonna do that.
They have in some instances.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, shout out to DPW.
Yeah. Or if it's not a lot of stuff, I've known several residents, and I've talked to the DPW director where he will allow certain stuff to be taken to the yard for disposal.
Okay. All right. Well, we're going to take our second commercial break. The first one, this was supposed to be the first one, right? But because of my little choke thing earlier, we have to take a second commercial break. But when we come back, we're going to go a little bit further into it. I know there's some questions that I received that people asked for me to ask on their behalf. So when we come back, please tell, stay tuned and, do you. All right. So Highland Park Spotlight. I'm Keisha B. We'll be right back after this.
At the Detroit Water and Sewerage Department, we're working hard to protect pipes by cleaning public sewer lines to reduce flooding and speeding up the replacement of lead service lines. Protect your pipes with 3 easy tips. Pour grease into containers, toss wipes in the trash can, and check for running toilets, leaky pipes, and dripping faucets. For more tips, go to detroitmi.gov/protect pipes. DWSD, working hard to protect pipes for you.
Muscles, joints, or feet tired, achy, or distressed? Tried everything? Ringmaster Rubbing Oil is a vintage topical pain reliever, trusted for over 70 years, with a rich formula for the treatment of stubborn aches and pains. Packaged in a glass bottle for purity, our liquid can also be used in warm water for foot soaks and compresses. A little goes a long way. Try our time-tested formula, available in several sizes.
Make a donation to WHBR-TV and receive 2 2-ounce bottles of Ringmaster Rubbing Oil for $25. Call 313-868-6612.
Justice for Mario Willis. Truth. Facts. Evidence. Matter. Log into justiceformariowillis.com. Read for yourself.
Welcome back to the Highland Park Spotlight. I'm your host, Keisha B., and I am sitting in studio with Officer Malone, who is our code enforcement officer. So it's been great conversation. If you've missed the show up until this point, please make sure you catch the replay. We're going through some really good information that can help residents here in Highland Park to prevent themselves from getting ticketed. And then it's information that you could pass along to everyone else too. So again, thank you for being here in studio. And I do have a question. Now, this question specifically came from somebody out there, right? But properties that belong to people who are out of town, right? Now, let's just say, hypothetically speaking, I have my house, and next to me is a house that is purchased by someone who lives out of town, and the grass gets, it's up there, right? So I take the time to have someone, the same lawn company that cuts and edges my grass, I go ahead and pay them to cut and edge the grass next to me because I don't want that yard to make my yard look horrible, right? Is there anything in the ordinance, or is there anything that states that I can take care of the property and charge the owners for it?
So that's like civil stuff. You would have to go after them civilly to like be compensated. There's nothing that we could do on that. So if I'm paying someone to cut your grass and I want you to give me my money back or something, I would have to take you to civil court for it. I couldn't. It's nothing the city would come after. But I usually tell people, if you stay next door to a property and you're cutting the grass, stop. Just don't do it. Inform. I know, because you don't want to look at it, but at least inform us that you're doing it, so we can now get involved and we can say, hey, you kind of need to start cutting your grass. Your neighbor isn't going to do it anymore. If the grass isn't maintained, we're going to start ticketing you for the grass. And tall grass attracts rodents. So not only would you get the ticket for the grass, then you would get the ticket for your yard attracting mice, rats, and everything else that comes with it.
So that's the point where I'm getting at, right? So if if you say to stop, and then I call you and I'm like, hey, look, I've been cutting this grass. I don't want to cut it anymore, but I'm afraid of rodents and different things going from that property to my property. Now, let's say you take the initiative and you ticket this person, but because that process takes so long, that grass gets so high, then what? Because now it's like I'm back to square one and I'm dealing with the same thing all over again. And now I feel a certain type of way, and now I'm back to cutting this grass that I don't want to cut.
Well, if someone chooses to cut their neighbor's grass who doesn't stay here or like a abandoned property, I would ask that they at least let myself or the building department know that they're doing it.
Okay.
So we can still get involved and try to get the owner to, hey, you need to take care of your property versus, you're taking everything by yourself. Like, because technically it's not your obligation to take care of your neighbor's property. We're all grown. We should be able to, cut the grass.
Right. Yeah. It's just I get some of the frustration sometimes,
No,
because
I get it a lot of times too. I've had residents say, well, I got a ticket for not cutting my grass, but the city doesn't cut theirs. I get that. That's what I really run into, and that's why I kind of try to stay away from the grass thing. But then I tell them, well, we can't ticket ourselves because you're the taxpayer. You're going to pay for it one way or another.
right. But then also, just to throw it out there, DPW, the department isn't as huge as it used to be,
No. So the issue with the grass thing, and I tell residents, and I'm so thankful for the council meetings being put on Zoom. It's not DPW's fault that the grass isn't cut. They're like extremely short-staffed.
Yeah.
And I think we have over 1,500 parcels or something like that, or around 1,500 that needs DPW yard maintenance. They tried to outbid it, but council shot it down. So 6 or 7 people trying to cut 1,500 lots, that's a lot.
It is. That's a whole lot.
And now we're almost at the end of summer, and some properties have still yet to be, cut and maintained. So,
Yeah.
it puts a bad taste in people's mouth when they think, DPW is not doing their job. It's not that they're not. It's a lot of work for 6 people to do.
Exactly. And then it's just not grass cutting, but it's potholes and trying to fill in the potholes and trying to, cut grass, pick up the trash, do all of that. It's a lot.
They're spread thin. But back to what the question was. If you stay next door to a property and you're cutting the grass, please come to City Hall and either ask for myself. If I'm not in the building, you can leave the complaint with the city's real estate agent, Ms. Roslyn, and she has no issue with passing the message along to me. You can stop at the front desk and get a card with my telephone number, and if you don't have it, it is 313-465-0631. This cell phone is always in my hand. You can give me a call and let me know what's going on, or go to the building and let the building department know, and the message will get relayed to myself and the building inspector, and we'll take a dive into it and look and see how we can assist, whatever problems you have with your neighbor's property.
Okay. So what are the proper steps to filing that complaint? Is it just calling you, or is there any way that it can be done online, or, what are the proper steps?
They can do it online. I think it's going on the city's website and filing a blight complaint. It comes straight to my city email. But the faster way to do it is either by cell phone or going down to City Hall and actually speaking to someone. If it's a city-owned property, it gets forwarded to DPW, and we kind of urge them, hey, we got some neighbors complaining. Can we just get a crew to go out and at least look and inform the neighbors, hey, when we in this area, on whatever day, we'll be sure to address this. And if it's something privately owned, it goes to myself and the building department. And I usually have the building inspector send out the letter so we have a paper trail.
Right.
So can't nobody say, well, you didn't give me no time to fix this. And then after, if they don't address it, after, he sends the letter, then it comes to me and we start the ticket process.
Okay. So, I know that we kind of hit on this, but for some that may have tuned in after the commercial, right? If you find yourself ticketed, right, and you receive a notice of violation, what are the next steps?
So if you get a letter and you don't respond to a letter and you find yourself with a ticket, I would urge you to come to City Hall and speak to myself in the building department so we can at least let you know, hey, you need to correct X, Y, and Z. Set a court date. If everything is done, by the time we have the court date, then we're willing to work with you. But if you ignore it and we get to court, I can't help you. It's, you didn't help yourself. If you have to help me help you in a sense. If you take care of your issues, then I don't really want to fine you, a lump sum of money, and you had to pay, a pretty penny to fix what you needed to fix. But if you ignore it, you kind of take away the discretion to help, because we'll keep getting the complaints over and over and over and over and over and over again. The last time I dealt with something like this, it's a resident that's been living in the city, I think she said for 63 years, an elderly woman who stays by herself with her dogs, and the properties across the street from her were neglected. We sent the owner, a letter. He didn't respond to it, sent him a ticket, and he responded. And he informed us that he was out of town when the letter came, so he was unable to, address it. And he fixed everything that was needed to be fixed. So in his case, we dismissed the citations.
Okay.
He's had a crew come out once a week, make sure the property is taken care of. So, we don't have that issue with him anymore.
Okay.
But most of the stuff just comes from people just, they don't respond.
So let's say I have a property and let's say I receive a ticket, but I'm elderly and I don't have the means or the capability to do the necessary fixing the steps or, fixing my fence or, I don't have, because I'm on a fixed income. Social Security ain't high, I'm not banking, so what would be my, how would I be handled in that case? Because I don't have the money to do it.
So we try to give as much leniency to elderly people just based off that reason.
Okay.
I don't expect, a 70-year-old, senior to have the money to fix a roof or fix steps, and their income is strapped already. So we try to, exhaust everything or any resource that we have to help them. In good conscience, I just can't write someone elderly a ticket because I wouldn't want no one writing my grandparents a ticket. So I know at one point in time the city had grants and stuff that the county was doing. I don't think we did it this year. I think the county is trying to still catch up on some of the stuff that they're trying to do. So we usually try to make sure that the seniors that needed a roof or their steps were, messed up or the garage was messed up or something like that. We try to make sure that, they kind of get that grant first.
Okay.
Versus someone who works 2 jobs and kind of has a little bit more income coming in. So the seniors get a little bit more of a break.
Okay. So do you happen to keep a database of some of the seniors who are possibly in violation?
Yeah, it's all done through BSNA.
Okay. Reason why I asked is because I was just going to put a plug out there. So anybody who has a business that is roofing or fencing or that's good with what is it when they masonry, is it with the cement? I don't know what
I
that's
think
called.
that's the name of it. Don't ask
But
me.
if you have any of these businesses and you want to donate, some time or your ability or materials to help some of the seniors in the city of Highland Park, I'm pretty sure that they would receive with open arms. Shout out to my brother because I've been talking to him about possibly doing a donation of fixing up a garage or something here in the city of Highland Park because he does garage doors and whatnot. But if you have a business, and you want to help and be a blessing to somebody, can they reach out to you?
Yeah, they can reach out to me. I don't have an issue with that, and I'll connect them.
Connect the dots. That's great. So again, we're trying to be a blessing to people. So, you don't want to find yourself in violation. But if you do and you have resources, make sure that you pay it. Oh, and when you get these letters, right? Because I know me. I will get a letter to the house and I'll just throw it. I literally just throw it on the kitchen table or the dining room table. I don't necessarily go through it. And I know I'm not the only one, which is probably the reason why so many people don't even open the letters or look at it because they don't. It's like, okay, this must be a bill or something, and you just kind of toss it. But it's good to open those letters. I'm preaching to myself right now. But open up the letters from the city of Highland Park because you never know what's in there because you don't want to get a ticket because you get the letter first, right?
You get the letter first and then the ticket.
Right. So if you get a letter, follow the directions on the letter and contact. Who do they contact when they get the letter? What does it say? Because I don't know.
So it'll usually say, I think it'll have a date and it'll have your name and say the city of Highland Park believes that you are in violation of ordinance, and it'll list whatever the ordinance is, and then it'll basically say you have, I think it's 14 days to correct these violations. Some stuff I know we all know it's going to take a little longer than 14 days,
right,
depending on what it is. And it'll have my contact information and the building department's contact information.
Okay.
And you can just call. I urge people to call the building department because that's where it came from. My information is just listed on there as well.
Okay.
And let them know, hey, I can fix it, but I may need a little bit more time, or just let us know what's going on versus not saying nothing at all. So at least we can notate it. Hey, he said, give him, 2 more weeks. He'll have the funds, or he has someone coming out to look at, whatever is wrong. And they'll give him an estimate, and he'll get back to us and let us know when the date that he can have it done.
Okay. All right. So I know that you got to run soon. So I'm going to try not to hold you too much longer. But I know that your position can be stressful and it's not easy to continuously deal with these things, right? What are some of the things you really want residents of Highland Park to know? Like, what is it that you need to just put out there? What is it that you need to, just kind of make sure that they keep in the back of their mind? And then I want you to also give your contact information again and repeat it twice. There we go.
So I would probably tell them that if you find yourself with an ordinance violation letter, like you stated, read the letter. And if you still don't understand it, come to City Hall and talk to us so we can explain to you hey, you know, we rode past, we seen this. We need you to correct this. If you don't have, if you don't have the funds immediately, ask, are there any grants available to you? And if it's none available, just at least let us know something, so we can make a notate of it. So if we're ever asked by a citizen, hey, I filed a complaint on this, I'm just checking the status on it, we can say, hey, well, they're in the process of getting it, together. So we're on top of it. So it doesn't look like, we ignored the initial complaint. So it kind of gets the citizens off our back a little bit.
Gotcha.
And then, we're kind of holding you responsible. Hey, you gave me your word that you're going to take care of this, so I kind of need you to take care of this. Another thing that I've been watching, when people buy side lots, I'm going to try to make sure that they're telling citizens this when they're coming in. You cannot park your vehicle on a lot. Like, you cannot do it. I see a lot of people, and I talk to a lot of people, and they complain, and they say, well, they don't do this in Ferndale and Royal Oak and stuff like this. And my response to them is always, well, down there they would probably just tow your car. Like, you can't park on, you can't. I don't know where the it got confused at. But I wrote this down. I've written 126 tickets for people parking on grass.
Oof.
We've written 62 vacant property registration tickets, 50 tickets for people having not cutting the grass and basically leading to rodents. We've written 44 business license tickets, 34 tickets for people doing work in their homes without actually getting the permits pulled. 16 tickets for failure to register rental property. 47 tickets for for unsafe structures. 28 tickets for not cutting grass. I'm trying to stay away from that. And 50 tickets for disposing of rubbish, and not the actual way that you should dispose of it.
Wow. All right. Well, he's put it out there. Please do not park your cars on the lawn. That is not what you're supposed to do with the side lots. If you want to do something like that, dig up the grass. Wait, they got to get a permit for that too,
Yeah, they
right?
have to get a permit. I think they have to go through the water department as well as the building department.
To turn it into a driveway. Yep. So take the proper steps to do what you need to do. Can you give your contact information again, please?
So my cell phone number is 313-465-0631. 313-465-0631. My email is nmalone@highlandparkmi.gov.
All right. Well, again, thank you for coming on to the show. I greatly appreciate it.
I'll come back next year.
Next year.
Yeah,
Go
next
figure.
year.
But you've been watching the Highland Park Spotlight. We are going to take our last commercial break of the afternoon. And when we come back, I got a few things that I do want to go over as far as some events that's coming up. And I'm your host, Keisha B. Keep it locked right here, WHPR TV.
Muscles, joints, or feet tired, achy, or distressed? Tried everything? Ringmaster Rubbing Oil is a vintage topical pain reliever, trusted for over 70 years, with a rich formula for the treatment of stubborn aches and pains. Packaged in a glass bottle for purity, our liquid can also be used in warm water for foot soaks and compresses. A little goes a long way. Try our time-tested formula, available in several sizes.
Make a donation to WHBR TV and receive two 2-ounce bottles of Ringmaster Rubbing Oil for $25. Call 313-868-6612.
Have you ever wanted your own TV show? Have you dreamed of showcasing your talent for the world to see? Well, now you can. Have your own TV show. You can have your own 30-minute show. Not only will you be seen in the Detroit area, but you can be viewed worldwide. For more information, call 313-868-6612. Visit our studios and receive a free TV interview to promote your business, church, or organization by appointment only.
Justice for Mario Willis. Truth. Facts. Evidence. Matter. Log into justiceformariowillis.com. Read for yourself.
Is arthritis, rheumatism, inflammation holding you back? Even ladies' menstrual cycle pain? Order Hurt No More. It's all natural and it works fast. Go to 86pain.com.
You know, I played in the NFL back in the 60s. We could have used Hurt No More after every game. I could have used something to relieve my pain.
If you've got pain, I've got the answer. Hurt No More. Wherever the pain is, it'll grab it fast.
86 to Pain. Go to 86pain.com.
Welcome back to the Highland Park Spotlight. I'm your host, Keisha B. If you're just now tuning in, you missed the show just about. I had Officer Malone in studio with me today, who is our code enforcement officer. And we had a really good conversation in regards to how the process works when you are making a complaint, especially when it comes to parking on the lawn, and what to do when you receive a letter from the city of Highland Park, what to do when you receive a violation, and so forth. So please catch the replay. But at this time, I have a few events that I do need to let you guys know about. Typically tonight would be the Chat with the Chief, but Chat with the Chief was postponed for tonight. So please take that into consideration. We will not be at the Highland Park Police Department on Hamilton Avenue tonight at 6. It is canceled, so we will not be there. Please make sure that you come out for the citywide block club meeting tomorrow, which is Thursday, August 24th at 6 p.m. at the Highland Park Fire Department. Please, if you have a block club, if you want to form a block club, if you are the block club president and you're not able to make it, please send somebody in your place. This is the citywide block club meeting, again, taking place tomorrow, August 24th at 6 p.m. Shout out to the senior department within the city. Ms. Bernadette Hudgens gave me some information she would like for me to share. So the upcoming events over the next 2 weeks would be, so on the 5th, Tuesday, August 29th, there is the AARP Age Friendly Program Community Update, which will be held at the police department on Hamilton Avenue. This is a brief meeting that is set to ensure that the community knows about the work they're doing surrounding helping Highland Park become an age-friendly community and the next steps. They're looking for residents to join the team. So if you're interested, please reach out to the senior department, Ms. Bernadette Hudgens, or you could talk to Ms. Sharon Dunford. Please note that we do have a bus program. It is through SMART. So shout out to SMART for actually setting this up with the senior department. If you want to know more information in regards to the bus program, please make sure that you contact the senior department. Their number is 313-252-0050. Extension 242. Again, that is the senior department, 252-0050, extension 242. Also, September 6th, celebrating Grandparents' Day. Generation Fit Fest will be held from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Limited registration. So please make sure that you RSVP as soon as possible with the senior department. Free transportation is available. Please be sure to specify that you need a ride when you RSVP. Please do not try and call the day before, the day of, and say, hey, I need a ride to the event, because it's not going to happen, okay? We need to make sure that you actually tell them that you need a ride the day that you RSVP. Bring your workout gear or wear your workout gear. Bring your family. This event is centered around the fitness court, which is for adults and children over 14. So there will be cross-generational fitness session by Body Fit 365, musical performance by Highland Park's own raffle. So all of that will be available on Wednesday, September 6th. Again, celebrating Grandparents' Day. Next is the Outdoor Resource Fair that is coming up this Saturday, August 26th. The City of Highland Park, along with Senator Stephanie Chang and the Mary Turner Center for Advocacy, have joined together to bring the Outdoor Resource Fair. This fair will be held from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., and it will be located at the Ernest T. Ford Rec Center at 10 Pickens Street. Join us for a full day of resources and fun. There will be a school supply giveaway as well, bounce houses, face painting, utility and housing resources, senior resources, a dental unit, and so much more. So again, this is the Outdoor Resource Fair that will happen this Saturday, August 26th from 10 a.m. until 1 p.m. I do have to acknowledge Michigan Nurses Association, the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services, the Legacy of Literacy, Shirley Girls Foundation of Love, the Highland Park Police Department, the Highland Park Fire Department, and Say Detroit Health Clinic. They are all sponsors for this event. So please make sure that you come out, bring your families, and enjoy this day with Senator Chang and also the City of Highland Park and the Mary Turner Center for Advocacy. Next is the Focus Hope. Focus Hope has partnered with Wayne County to bring in the food drive, okay? Now, it's free food Saturdays at 9 a.m. while supplies last. So here's the thing. They're coming to Highland Park on September 16th, okay? So they will be at Ernest T. Ford Rec Center. They will be in the parking lot across from the rec center. They will be there. It starts at 9 a.m. They're going to get there fairly early. Here's the thing. If you want to get free food, I'm going to tell you now, you might want to line up early because they are typically out of food by 10 o'clock. It starts at 9 and typically out of food by 10 a.m. So an hour worth of time that food is gone. So please make sure that if you want to participate, that you show up early, you line up, because there will be a line. I'm giving you a heads up now because they do this across Wayne County in different areas, and every time there is no registration needed. It is open to everyone. Food boxes will be available while supplies last. If you have questions, if you want, you can reach out to Focus Hope at 313-494-4600. Again, that information is 313-494-4600. They also will be in Redford on August 26th, which is this Saturday. So if you want to get food this month, they will be in Redford on August 26th at Our Lady of Loretto. The address is 17116 Olympia, Olympia in Redford, Michigan. Again, this is at 9 a.m. This is this Saturday, August 26th. If you want to participate in that, please get there early, just like you would have to get there early for the one that we will have in Highland Park on September 16th. So again, Saturday, August 26th, Our Lady of Loretto, 17116 Olympia Street in Redford, Michigan, 48240. I was asked to reiterate the information in regards to the AARP. I just saw a text come through. So let me do that one more time. So Tuesday, August 29th, there is the AARP Age Friendly Program Community Update, and it will be held at the Highland Park Police Department on Hamilton. So that address is 13233 Hamilton Avenue. It sits right at Hamilton and Waverly at 6 p.m. So this is again at 6 p.m. This is a brief meeting, which is to ensure that our community knows about the work that they're doing surrounding helping Highland Park become an age-friendly community and the next steps. Also, they are looking for residents to join the team. So residents to join the team in regards to building out the AARP age-friendly program, okay, within the community. If you are interested in participating, please call the senior department. Phone number is 313-252-0050, extension 242. So again, 252-0050, extension 242. That is the same number you would call if you have questions in regards to the bus program here in Highland Park. The bus program is through SMART, but you would have to contact the senior department for more information. Again, that number is 313-252-0052, extension 242. And you have been watching the Highland Park Spotlight. I am your host, Keisha B. Thank you so much for tuning in today, and I will see you next time.